Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is a social event here at Apex Online Racing in F1 2018, and the purpose of this particular stream is to test out some alterations I have made to my streaming setup to see if I could avoid the dreaded issues that I had on Sunday. I am, of course, King-Kodiak. Joining me in the commentary box, he's just had to AFK for a moment, is my faithful companion, Mr. Hamish Sopwith. I'm recreating the sort of vertical normal. Oh, he is back. Hello to you, Hamish Sopwith. Hello to you, sir.
Oh, gosh.
And he's choked. Fabulous, fabulous. So in this test lobby, in this social event, we have got 18 drivers. We are here at Bahrain. Already, that is my phone going off. I shall ignore that.
On the positive side, at least that's not how we started last week.
No, true.
Well, last week, Australia. What a race it was, though.
It was a very good race. We just had a lot of streaming issues as both Ferraris come out pretty much in situ. We've got a lot of drivers that we don't normally get to commentate on. Just looking through the list, the only person that I believe we would normally commentate on is actually Williams, driver of Timp, who has not come out yet. Let's see who we've got. Coming out is Aramax. He is in the Sauber. Oh, wow, lots of people coming out.
Yes, everyone all sort of came out at the same time. In fact, there's even a car stopped in the pit lane.
Oh dear, now that's what got Formula Danny disqualified from our race. Oh, thank you, Nick. That is just what I want to see. Looking smooth as a baby's bottom at 720 FPS. that would be amazing. 720 FPS.
That'd be quite the achievement.
That my PC would burn trying to do that. But it's smooth, good, and all the numbers are saying that it's smooth. That's great. Well, that's exactly what I want to see. So we're going to treat this as a normal commentary. So we're going to go through the qualifying of the race. We might throw a little bit kind of more banter and what have you in there, just because we can. But also, it's I'm probably not going to push the settings too much higher than this. So it's looking good at the moment.
We have a spinner though.
Oh dear.
Ferrari of Brazen, if that's how you spell it.
Brazian?
Brazian.
Oh
yeah,
dear.
Sorry, any name incorrections or whatever. But he spun it. Had just got on the curb on the inside or whatever turn that would be. That would be turn 12.
Yeah.
And just it is very easy to do, to be honest. I've done it many times. So.
Now, there's lots of names that I am recognised from, of course, AOR side, but I don't get a chance to commentate on. So there's iJoker, Smeege, he's a name I most certainly recognise. Don't recognise FX Rupert, so welcome to you. He is in. You're in the Red Bull, sir. Oh, Return has left the session. That's not good. Lovely sound glitch. Marvellous. We'll ignore you. Hazard. Now, that's not a name I recognise. Only 15th, not come out on track. Le Mans. I'm assuming it's supposed to be that as opposed to Lemon. We could call him Lemon, I suppose.
Well, we could. But I mean, I wonder what the commentators in his particular split call him.
That
we
is a
could
good
call
question.
him Lemon. Maybe
we'll call him Lemon.
It's just a shame he's not the Renault, really, isn't it? That would really compete.
Yes, that, dear boy, is a very good point. We have Flash 224 in the McLaren. He is out.
Oh, we have another spinner.
Oh dear.
FXR, oh my god, I don't even want to say it. He's in the Red Bull, he's P16 on my screen.
FX Rupert.
Rupert, that's it.
Well, that actually says Rupert, but we're going to go with Rupert.
He had a spin just before turn 10, one of the hardest braking zones on the calendar, to be honest, Kodiak. I'm sure you've tried it before, once or twice, and there's a 26.3 now.
Wow, 26.3 from Speed. Nicely done.
By the way, we split one pole time from last year. It was Marcel Kiefer at 27.3.
Wow.
Already a whole second faster.
That's actually
incredible.
Now, I've commented on this person before in second position.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Dirty LT. He's actually... Oh, dear. That's not gone well for you, sir. In the Toro Rosso. Now, he's not a league racer by his own admission. He's not actually league racing, but well, why not? He decided to put this social race together. But it just gave me the perfect opportunity to just try these tweaks out. But Smeege currently up on 126.323 Lemon on Le Mans in the Force India 27.0. then it is Erzgebel is how I pronounce this one, in case you're wondering as well. Fourth position in the Sauber. That was aimed at you there, Hamish, how you pronounce
yes.
it. That's how I say it. No one ever corrected me. Zerd in the McLaren. I think I commentated on you in the evaluation races, actually, Zerd. And he killed the cameraman. Nicely done. He's in the McLaren. 26.685, so only 3 tenths down from Smeed. We've got iJoker in 7th. There's Flash 224 in the other McLaren. Jumps up to 5th. And no, AOR Hooper was the first man to set a time. He's gone out at 126.760.
Nice.
Smeed again, 26.191. Nicely done. He's taking this seriously. Timp has come out, done a 29.666. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's a very weird lag movement from Tim there. Oh, that's not gone well. Okay, it's not me. That's fine. So, Collis. In the 14th. Have I lost you, Hamish? Are you still with me?
No, I am still with you.
Good. I just saw Tim lagging and then maybe go, oh no, not that now. So,
it's the worst feeling of the world when you feel, oh gosh, is it my internet?
Is it me?
He's not on a hot lap. He's just going around at his own place. We're meant to warming up. In fact, he's on his in-lap as we speak. In fact, what is he doing?
I missed who you were talking about.
Timp, he's sort of... Well, unless...
he's exploring.
That was very bizarre, but he's got virtually no fuel left. In fact, he might be about to run out. So... we will find out as he comes into the pit. And yes, he has run out of fuel.
Craig David Rewind. Like it, Dan, like it. I hate the song, but that's a very perfect time to... but oh dear, Tim has gone so exploring he has no nose, I just realised. You can't see that. From that view, actually, I just realised, from the broadcast... Well, from the TV pod, you cannot see the Williams front wing. You should be able to... Well, you could just about see the elements, perhaps, but you can't see the actual paint itself. You can't see the wing when it's not there, before somebody points that out. Yes, I know that. Never mind. Who is out there? Aramax is out on track in the Sauber. He's warming up the Supersoft tyres. Oh, we don't have the tyres fitted. Flash on the softs. Well. Did he set his fastest lap on that? He did.
Wow.
Nice. That's not bad. I mean, a couple of seconds off the top time, but on the soft tyres, that is not too bad at all.
There is a huge, to be fair, there is a huge gap from Smeech to Zerd. It's almost half a second. So if you were to think if Zerd was leading, actually 1.5 seconds, a little bit under, is not bad at all. Like you say, Kodiak. Good job from him on the soft compound tyres. It's a very good race tyre, so if he can get himself into the top 10, then good for him.
Now, do bear in mind that we are looking at a mixture of abilities here. We're not just looking at F1, F2, F3, not any one given split. And with how close our splits are, it's worth just noting that this is simply a collection of drivers that wanted to take part in this race. They can be from any particular, orientation at all. Hello, Nunu.
It is great for the drivers as well to practice. This is a first chance, really, for them to be in, or in fact, their first and maybe only chance this week to have a full grid with AWAR rules and a real-life environment where you're racing other clean races. You can't recreate this online. Because you may very well have drivers who are just very dirty and they ruin your race and max fat. So it is
absolutely.
It is a pretty realistic representation. I'm not sure if it's full damage on this or just it is full damage.
It is full damage
obviously, if the drivers hit a wing off, they'll be coming into the pits pretty sharpish.
It is indeed. So, this does recreate the league conditions of which these guys will be racing in bar Erty, because Erty is not actually a racer by his own admission. But also it gives the drivers an opportunity to kind of try their hand against those that are in different splits to them, above or below. And with how close our splits are, they may not give as big a gap as you might initially think. I mean, top to bottom at the moment we're looking at, 3.7 seconds, which sounds a lot, but bearing in mind that there's 13 splits in PC alone, with that's not even the assist leagues, the Oceania leagues, the American. American has one league on each tier, but for the first time in AWA history, that I know of, America is being represented. Just goes to show how much AOR has grown as an entity, as our poleman Smeej comes out yet again. Now return, that's interesting, because he left the session and came back in again. So he's revving the nuts off his car.
He has very much returned to the session, if you pardon me.
I wasn't going to do that one! I was purposely avoiding that.
I thought it had to be said.
I opened the door and you went right through it. Fine, okay. We can get away with that kind of banter here this evening.
Timp is on the hot lap, I think, Kodiak, so he's going to be really interesting to watch.
Come on then, Tino.
In the world, just coming down that back straight, the DRS wide open. He negotiated that corner pretty well. That was turn 10. That's just a quick tap on the brakes. Get the car turned in early on the throttle. Try not to use the curb on the inside of this corner too much, otherwise you'll spin. Tim doesn't. He gives himself just enough room. Breaking that outside curb can be dangerous, but he negotiates it well. You can use quite a lot of track on the outside, maybe too much on that particular occasion. It's just hit to 1 minute 15, and it's looking very quick. It's looking potentially pole. The line comes up very soon after the DRS, and
he's backed off.
He just backed off.
Huh.
Oh wow, he backed off big time. Look at that time.
And was still 9th with a 27.5. I've just been told off for being too loud.
Oh dear, Kodiak, that is not good. You don't want to be told off for being too loud.
My wife told me off for waking up my younger son, which I will add.
Kids are sleeping.
I will add is not the first time and will not be the last. One thing I cannot do is commentate quietly. I would be hopeless as a snooker or golf or that kind of slower paced commentator. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Oh, there's a few names we haven't mentioned. JSR, Renault in now 3rd position. Oh, look at that. What's that? 8 thousandths of a second between JSR and return. And Lemon has jumped up there in the 14 gear as well. 1:26.463. Smeej's pole time still intact at the top there. 26.191.
Pretty close though, Kodiak. Top 8 within a second.
That is not bad at all. And I don't know how you pronounce the second Renault driver. Kexe? Gonna go with that.
I'd say Keke.
Yeah, I did wonder that as well. We'll ignore the S. We'll go with Keke. Yep. You are so named. You are now named Keke Rosberg. That is nothing to scoff at all. So he's just coming around turn 14 now onto the last straight. He should be on a hot lap. Oh, I can't do the onboard lap when the engine is revving itself to death.
Yes, it's annoying. Hopefully it'll fix itself for the race. I believe.
Yeah, they do. They do. That sound glitch seems to be qualifying only, unless they kind of return. And oh, decent effort. 9th with a 27.3. Very nice indeed. Nice. So everybody has actually set a hot lap then. Collis is at the tail of the field on a hot lap as well. Just coming around the last turn. See if he improves. 129.851.
It's solid. And he has improved. He's improved on himself. About the same as 30. So good job by him. It's 3 seconds might seem a lot, but actually, I bet you if you try and set some of these laps, you'll be nowhere near the lap time of Smeej, which is a 1:26. That is a fantastic lap. If I was to
put a 2 at the front, and I'd be there.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You know, I used to be in split 1, and I reckon I'd probably be a couple of seconds off the pace. So, you know, to be 2.8 off the pole time is nothing to sniff at.
No, not at all. As Dirty Erty, it doesn't matter how he is. He will not avoid me calling him Dirty Erty.
He's going about 8 tenths quicker, I think, Kodiak, so far.
That would actually
on himself.
Oh, now that would actually get him up to around about 13th somewhere. So if he carries on that kind of improvement,
he's a quick driver, Erty. He used to do a lot of league racing. A very fast Project Cars driver. I used to race against him, although he's rather went wide at turn 8, although it's not a particular issue. Turn 9, this is where you can gain so much time, and you can lose a lot, and not too bad, a little bit slow on the exit maybe. DRS wide open. We will get a set to time not any second now after we get through turn 12. This is where Tim was particularly quick. Erty using the same line. Now, if he goes onto his curb, he may very well lose the car, which he doesn't. I can't tell you if it's faster or slower. fact, I can if I go to race director quickly.
Smeed is out again. We've got less than 4 minutes to go. And this is the thing, I mean, we didn't really touch on this in our broadcast. Well, we did, but unfortunately didn't get broadcast. The fact they have 18 minutes instead of 12 to do their qualifying laps now. And he lost a little bit of time in that last session, but does jump up 28.4 now. So he did find quite a decent chunk of time there.
Half a second, just over half a second actually. So good job by him.
Yeah, so he does. He jumps up right next to iJoker and just behind Aramax in 15th position. Let's have a look at Smeed. Where are you? Ah, you don't have the soundbite. So where are you? You are streaming down
Sector 1 now.
So he is. So that's turn 4. He's just gone through then. Was a little bit wide, but nothing too bad. Through 5, 6, and 7. Whoops.
It's so difficult, that section. If you get turn, the turn 7, I think it is, wrong, and you go too far out, it's so easy to spin. It's this is such a hard track to get perfect when you're really pushing. There's quite a lot of oversteer there as well by him. He's obviously using all the fuel modes available. He does have enough tyre wear though for a fuel even for 2 laps. So if he messes this lap up, he can do another fast lap. So far, actually, that looked like a 104. That is pretty solid. In fact, I'd go as far as to say he's probably improving at the moment. Going to the final corner, now this is where Tim decided to back out. I wonder if he'd do that on his next lap. Coming across the DRS zone and the line, it's not going to be a 25, surely it's a 26.2, and that's only just slower than his second lap.
He still would be pole with that time, but he's going again. He's got the fuel on board to actually do that. Now, again, I'm going to ask my lovely spectators. Firstly, thank you very much for coming along to watch this, to kind of keep me in check. Can I get just a quick word from the spectators that it's looking okay? The numbers on my side are saying that the stream is looking okay. Oh, that was someone off into the dust, and it would be Hazard that was that's retired his car. Can I just get a quick confirmation from the stream participants, please, that it's looking okay your side? I say the numbers are saying it is, but yeah, I would rather there was some eyes on that one. Tim is coming across the line. Does he improve from 11th? Answer is not yet, as Smeed has retired his car. Thank you, Smoking Puppy. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it on my side, Kodiak. It's looking pretty solid at the moment. It's
wonderful.
As smooth as it can be. So
wonderful stuff. Smooth 60 FPS. That would be interesting, because one of the things I've done is limit the FPS. If it's looking like it's 60, good. I actually have had to limit the FPS so that it looks a bit better, but the more importantly, it stays at a constant rate. That's one thing I've had to do. So if it's looking like it's 60, great. Now,
also, to be fair, it wasn't that long ago when we all used to play on 30 FPS. At least the console users, which I used to be. So you know, and I'm still, I know, and I still play at 30 FPS on the likes of all the flight games. They tend to be about 30 FPS.
True. No way of our intro. Well, not for this one, not for this one, Dan. But believe you me, biased. Believe you me, Tim, it will be in the next one. Collis has jumped up to 8th, actually, 127.002. Escobar has retired his car from 6th position. That is Tim down to 12th. Does he improve? He's on the soft tyres. He's on the hardest combat out there.
No.
And he's 8th, 126.932 by less than a tenth.
Look at Collis, though. He did. Did he set that time on the soft compound tyres?
It looks like it.
Good job by him, right up with the likes of Tim.
So, he did. He set those on the softs, and that's less than a tenth behind Tim. What a stunner from Collis.
Return is coming across the line. Oh, that is a great lap time. P4 for him. So good job. What about Cooper? Again, another good lap here. P6 now. That was I don't know what it was. I forgot actually.
No, the screen's not. It's not your eyes. I have a very odd screen resolution. As Hooper jumped up to 4th, 126.527. Wow, look at that from Smeed has got a couple of tenths on Zerd, but it's really close. Car to car to car. It's a tenth, a tenth, a tenth. And not even a tenth between Hooper and Return. So the two Haas drivers very, very close. Yeah, I have a bit of an odd screen resolution. It is actually resized down to a standard resolution, but it doesn't quite translate very well, so it does look a bit strange. That's, I'm afraid, my monitor. Nothing I can do about it. I use the tools I do.
So, what was it about the screen resolution, Kodiak? Because I remember watching your videos, and they always used to be at odd resolution.
Oh?
What did Arrow make? Oh, that was a bit odd. He just killed a McLaren. It shows him on a hot lap, but oh well, he isn't anymore.
No, he was AI. Oh, he just rammed into the back of a Force India. No, he was AI controlled. He was already over the line. No, instead of having a 16:9 resolution, I have a 16:10 aspect ratio. So, apparently I've got rewards, even though I wasn't actually taking part.
Oh,
Malvas.
so do I.
Woohoo!
Good job, Kodiak. Great qualifying. Unlike the actual AOR race, I'm not in this one, unfortunately. I got a solid what position did I finish, Kodiak? Because I did finish the race.
Your AI did.
Well, it doesn't matter who finished it. It was under my name.
Smeed, Zerd, Lemon, Hooper, Return, JSR, Erskable, Timp, Keke, Collis round out our top 10 for this particular race.
Yeah, it was a good job actually by Smeed. You know, very solid lap time. A 26.191. You know, and Zerd wasn't too far with his 0.3 either. So you know, and Lemon or Lemon, again, very close. In fact, we're
running with Lemon.
They're running with Lemon. We had the top 11 within 1 second of each other, so
nice.
It should be a close race game.
Absolutely, but it's not where you start, it is where you finish. The cars look faster when it's 16:10. Even better. But I'm going to leave this alone because I haven't had a single... the problem I was getting on Sunday was I was getting constant encoder overloads in OBS. So it wasn't a YouTube problem, although I think I did have some kind of YouTuber issue right at the start when the stream didn't start at 8 PM when I told it to. But oops, no, that's the wrong button. As the formation gets in the way. Oh, blimey, Zerd is in a hurry.
Well, he is. A Ferrari just didn't start. Now,
yes.
Presumably, will Smeed overtake Zerd? I would have thought so, but
surely he'll be allowed to retake his normal position.
He will when they line.
Zerd's off. You're not racing yet, sir. It does tell them there is a big thing on the screen that says formation lap, and he will reform in second anyway because the AI takes over when they get to the grid anyway. So he can get to he can get back to the grid first. It will make little difference. Oh, that's one way to do it, Smeed.
Isn't it nice having these formation laps again?
It's interesting. I'm not used to. Oh,
they both did.
They've been disqualified for overtaking each other, I think. Oh no! Smeed, what did you do? And what's Tim doing up there?
I did see them line up on the... up on the grid.
They're probably jumped... Weirdly, Tim's done the same thing. He's actually run to the front of the field. So Tim is actually now at the front of the formation lap.
That is very, very...
Well, they're having a bit of fun. It's a social race. You can get away with silly oddities like that.
Hopefully they're not actually disqualified. That would be really upsetting.
That would be a shame for Smeed, getting a pole with a pretty decent lap time as well.
I don't know how representative that will be on Tier 1 for Sunday, but presumably it's not a million miles off what we're going to be seeing, Kodiak.
I think Smeed is Tier 2. So
he's
towards the sharper end. He's towards the sharper end of the tiers.
To be honest, anyone from tier up down to tier 4, to be honest, is probably on their day can qualify on a split one grid. So I was actually showing you, Kodiak, last season around Silverstone. Anyone from tier 1 to 3, anyone from tier 1 to 4, they were all within the same sort of time, which is
true.
Amazing to think. Hopefully, we can see the Ferrari and McLaren on the front row. So hopefully, they will just. I think Smeed and Zerd must have hit each other. Was what actually disqualified them. They were actually off my camera at the time that happened. So, but there we go then.
It is 3, 4. Come on, keep up lights. 5 lights. Wind them up and let them go. A pretty decent start then for the Ferrari. The Force India trying to follow suit. Smeech feeling the need to jump right in front of the McLaren. And, I thought we had a retirement already, but lots of jostling going on. Zerd is side by side with the Force India of Lemon. He's gone through. Hooper and...
gone. Timber's gone. He spun round into gravel. He hasn't damaged his car. Ertie's got a huge amount of front wing damage. And Hooper also has an end plate to what came off his Sauber as well. His Haas, sorry.
Oh dear, Tim down to last. Ertie's right there, exactly as you say. Not looking too happy with that. Smeech. Oh, look at this. Smeech. Lemon's taken the lead. Just as we jump back up to them. That's coming through turn 8. Side by side, the Ferrari now with the Force India coming through 9 and 10. The McLaren is right there as well. Smeech getting very, very sideways. And gets a bit of a tap from the back. The two Hasses. Hooper and Return right there as well. Erskable in the...
Return's going to have a move on Zerd down the inside of the DRS straight, and is he going to make that stick? Potentially. Zerd has got a good exit though, he's got the inside. Can he keep it? Is he going to run Zerd off the track? No, he isn't. Return, great move to keep that position. Good job from there. Hooper's right behind Zerd as well.
That was Rupert that was going a bit wider than with the Red Bull in the background. He's got flash right in his case. A surprising number of people on the soft tyres, I've just realised. But we'll catch up with that in a bit. Smeech back in the lead. And oops! Who was that? Flash got a big snap of oversteer there. That sent it towards the pit lane, but he stays out on track, of course. On those soft tyres, he's side by side. It looks like he's going to be... I wondered if they were going to make it 3 wide. Keki's had a problem. It is 3 wide coming into turn 1. The Renault gets the inside line. McLaren in the middle. No one manages to lose anything. The McLaren of Flash then gets a lovely switch back there on Brazian. That's a very nice move. It looks like he's going to make that stick. It's battling going on here, there and everywhere. There is Collis in the Force India, gets past Erskable. And there's AOR Hooper just above. That's Zerd. He's fallen down to... He was right up there at the front. Zerd then trying to do an inside manoeuvre on Hooper. That's for 4th position coming into...
Sorry, Kodak. Zerd actually went wide. It's Hooper on Zerd at the moment. He was always behind. Zerd just lost control. Oops. As Hooper loses a bit of control of the lines, Collis got to get a better exit from a Haas. Well, he did, but he backed out a little bit. Zerd is now trying to chase down the Haas of Return, and Lemon and Smeech are still right up at the thick end of the field, going very quickly indeed.
Lemon right on the case of Smeech, and they've broken away from Return, who's been himself battling. There is the Haas now. He's got a bit of breathing space between himself and Zerd. Look at the train of cars behind Zerd. That's a lot of people going on there. No, don't want that one. Where's the tyre one? There it is. So the top 5 on super softs, but Collis is the lead runner on the soft tyres. That's a decent start for him. We're starting to see the fastest laps now come onto the board. Smeech and Lemon. That was very, very close then for Lemon coming into turn 1. Smeech on the outside. Is then going to get the inside for turn 2. And wow, that is incredibly close. Lemon is still side by side. That move isn't done yet. Streaming on down towards turn 4. He backs out of that one, and Smeech retains the lead.
Wow, yeah, battling left, right, centre, up and down the grid. We've had some great battling so far. Wonder where the next overtake is going to come from. I'm thinking possibly Keke on Esbul, maybe into turn 9. Yes,
there it is.
I called that almost correctly. Although he's going to possibly get back past in the Sauber. Not obviously we're using equal engines. They're not the 2018 spec. And
Flash.
Flash is having a look on Keke as well.
Yeah, he had a great run coming out of turn 10. Now it's going to be side by side. He's going to have the inside for 11. Who's going to be last of the late breakers? The Renault was a bit boxed in there behind Erskable and the Sauber. He's still got the outside line. He's got the softer rubber on the Renault, but manages to hang on to 9th. Very nicely done by Keke. That was brilliant driving there. But jumping up towards the front, and still a big train of cars behind Zerd. He's got Hooper, Collis and Rupert all in DRS range there, and Lemon is still nailed to the back of the Ferrari. Now he's jumping to the inside, and Smeech really blocks him off. Now it's going to go for the outside on turn 1. Has he got the momentum? He's side by side. We saw this the other way around Last lap, and who's the last of the late breakers? No, Smeech hangs on to that one, but he's not having it his own way at all. They've broken free of Return, as we can see Timp is having a battle with JSR there in the Williams. Wow, he's nailing Brazian as well into turn 1. This is a recovery drive from Tim. He's already been through the pits, and he's on the soft rubber. The soft tyres was actually the hard rubber as Collis. Oh no, that's not how you take that particular corner, Hooper. He's lost position to Collis, slots back into 6th position. Wow, lots of battling going on. Collis has run wide, heading down towards turn 8. That's going to give Hooper that particular position back, and now Collis is under pressure by Rupert.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rupert actually touched the back of Collis, but it seems like he was lucky not to spin, to be honest, because he's coming in pretty hot, and yeah. And this is a great battling. Keke is right behind the Sauber driver. We've got Hazard behind him. Flash. Then you've got a bit of a gap from Timp. He's getting through the pits. Bahrain, I think, is, from memory, is a track where you can make a 2-stop work. So Timp isn't out of it yet. He is probably the quickest driver out of all these guys. So he just, well, when you see how he does, he has got the fastest lap time, though, with a 1:31.0.
Look at the pack he's gaining on that. It's Flash right the way up to Zerd. That pack is actually bookended by the McLarens. Hooper's in trouble. Oh no, Hooper's not in trouble. He's in the pits. I'm trying to get hold of him. There he is. So he's ditching those super soft tyres. Tim gets the fastest lap on the hard rubber as well. That is impressive indeed, but he's of course had a tyre change. Everyone else still on the qualifying tyres. Medium tyres for the Haas. He wants to do a 1-stop. And that's causing trouble.
Yeah, he's just put it in the wall. He's got pretty major damage.
Were you running the telemetry app, by the way?
Yes.
Ah, good.
Yeah, that's how I can see all that. I'm not that good. I wish I was.
Well, we're going to kind of plug this app, actually, as I confess I've forgotten who it was that wrote this particular app, but we do have an app that gives us kind of information on damage and tyres and what have you that we're running in the background as Lemon is going for the race lead on Smeech. He's going for the inside for turn 11. That very close to Smeech, hanging on again, stringing around the outside of 11 and 12. Gets the inside for 13. The 14 are now switching back for 14, and Lemon jumped back up into the lead. Oh, and that's now brought Return right in there. Big snap of oversteer by the Ferrari, and that's the view from Return. Smeech then gets a bit of slipstream, streaming on down towards 15. Has now got the inside line. Lemon backs out of that one. He's going to go for a switchback move. These two look set to carry this on all race long.
Yeah, the app was wrote by someone called Kriostin.
Kriostin, yes, of course it was.
A member of the AOR community.
No, Return! Sorry, hey, I do it again, just cutting you off at every opportunity.
As always, it's fine.
So Return actually got his nose ahead of Lemon there. Got into second, looked like he was going to challenge for the lead, but didn't quite do so. Yes, Kriostin was is the hero that has written a very, very good app for us commentators. It's not on screen, it's not something you can see, it gives us additional information as Erskine doesn't quite slow his car down in time when he goes into the pits. Of course, he is missing his entire front wing. Of course, whilst these leaders are fighting, that's allowed Return to stay right in there, and Return getting nose on the inside of turn 8. Oh, and that caused Lemon to have a big old snap of oversteer there. But
Smeech just spun.
Oh, he has indeed. He's spun at turn 10. He's and look at that one mistake. He's down to 5th now as Rupert's gone past him as well. And look at the train of cars right behind him. Hazard is there, Flash is there, Timp is right there as well. So wow, big pack of cars still.
Smeech's tyres, they've just completely gone, Kodiak. They've very much hit the wall.
Oh, yeah.
The car straight at the moment. I mean, look at the amount of oversteer.
That's an interesting line, Smeech. Yeah, that hasn't gone well.
I really do think his tyres have just
cooked. Yeah.
In fact, he's got a puncher, so that's not good for him.
Has he?
Yes.
Just waiting for. Oh yes, rear left. There we go. So that's why his car is crabbing like that. You can see the rear left is not very happy. That's round he goes. And did he hit anything? No, he doesn't hit anything actually, amazingly. Sorry, it's me, we're not looking. So that's
interesting though. I mean, he hasn't pitted. Return. He's on the same strategy. has been able to make his tyres last an awful lot longer, and he's looking a lot more competitive. So obviously driving style is a huge factor around this track in the game.
Now then, Return in the Haas has actually stolen the lead from Lemon, but he's gone very, very deep at turn 8. Both Force Indias then are challenging the Haas, coming into 9 and 10. Return holding on to the racing line. Lemon trying to do what he can. Collis is actually on the harder tyres. He's on the soft tyres. He doesn't have to challenge. He just has to wait for both of these two to pit, which should be any time now. Rupert is right behind the Red Bull as well. Hazard in the lead. Williams, he's on super softs. He should be coming into the pit soon. There is Tim with the McLaren right ahead of him as well. So yeah, lots of racing still going on.
Just let you know, Kodiak, I don't think Tim has actually been through the pit.
Oh, has he not? Oh,
no, I don't think he must have had. He just had a very poor start, so it is a recovery drive, but he hasn't been. He hasn't been
pitted. No.
So
well spotted.
Well, I only looked at the race director.
Well, no, good spot. I'd actually just assumed he'd been through the pits, but he has not done so. So
often he's down P7.
Oh, Lemon on the inside of turn 1 again. This time on Return, bangs into the side of the house, and Collis has then gone through as well. Very nice move. Both the Pink Panthers have gained their position. Down 2 for Return.
So Tim has just got a phenomenal move on to Flash. He did a dummy into turn 1, but he got the switchback coming out of turn 2. That was brilliant.
Beautifully done, but the Force India's leading the way then, and there they are with the Haas in very short supply. Very short supply. Of course, the supply is only one of them. That's not the word I was looking for at all. But yeah, look at that. It's very, very close with our top 3. And then, as you can see, there is FX Rupert. Not too far behind either. So, not that one. What's the one? That's the one I'm looking for. So the fans of Force India will be quite happy with this. And bear in mind, Collis is on softs and Lemon is on super softs. So we really would expect Lemon to be in any time. And they're not really teammates. They're just in the same Cutler car. This being a social race, there's no... Hey?
Great for sponsors.
Yes, and Hype Energy. How apt.
Yes, absolutely.
You're doing the sponsor proud, boys. Well done. But look at Rupert as well. He's really closing in on this particular battle. He again on the soft, so his tyre should be fresher. Return looks like all 3 of the top guys are coming in. Oh no, Collis didn't. Oh, of course, Collis wouldn't because he's yeah. Well, no, he's on the harder tyre as well, so he wouldn't need to.
I think he wanted to. I imagine these guys aren't talking on Discord, so they might not necessarily have the communication they're looking for. Tim tries a move on a Hazard. Has he got that move done? Oh wow, clean round.
That was close.
Tim, what a move!
That's 3rd then for the Williams Esports driver. There's Flash trying to do something against the 2nd. Oh, that is close. Zerd in the McLaren with fresh softs on his car has just set the fastest lap with a Joker in the pits as well. It's, as always, it's difficult to know where to look.
Yeah, absolutely. There's stuff going on.
Oops.
Well, action absolutely everywhere. Timper's up 5 positions. Who's really impressive, actually, is Flash. He is up 10 positions from a starting place, and Hazard is up 9. So
Brazen's up 12. Smeege fastest lap in the Ferrari. Of course, he was spinning around rather a lot before his pit stop. Now on the soft tyres. I'm interested he didn't go for the mediums and try and do a one stop, but he's got his strategy in mind. Soft tyres then, fastest lap for the Ferrari. He's 52 seconds behind the leaders, but of course people ahead of him, or everybody ahead of him, will have to pit at some point.
Oh, sorry, I was just yawning, not because it started racing.
Oh, well, I'm sorry we're keeping you up, Hamish.
Oh, wow.
You are not living that down in a hurry.
No, I'm not. Collis comes into the pit from the lead. Now, I wonder how this extra lap has affected him. Where will he come out? It's probably a 22-second pit stop. I imagine with no change. He is on the medium compound tyres. Definitely going to the end. Whereas Lemon is on, he's also on the medium compound tire, actually. So where is Lemon now? He's coming down the main straight. Collis is just about up the pit exit, I would have thought. Yeah. And wow, look at that Kodiak.
Wow.
What
a difference one lap makes.
Decision. Yeah, I mean, he was able to extend his lead, and he has Hooper in between them.
Oh, Tim was a very long time in the pits, so whether he had damage repaired, I don't know. He's now down at 11th. He was hell a very long time in his pit box. But it's the Red Bull of Rupert that's now in the lead by 2.8 seconds over Flash in the McLaren. Then it's Hazard in the super soft shod Williams. Surely he's going to be in the pits any minute now. Brazier now up 14 positions from his start in the Ferrari in 4th. Then it's Aramax. We haven't really seen him in the Sauber in 5th position. Then it is the now lead Force India of Collis with Hooper directly behind and Lemon shortly behind again in 8th with there's Zerd actually in the McLaren. That's dirty.
He's letting drivers through.
Yes, he's under blue flag conditions and letting quite a number of cars go.
Hooper is going to have a look at Collis pretty soon, although his tyres are a little bit older. I'm not sure how much older, but they are a little bit older than Collis. Is he going to try and move into the DRS straight? I would have thought so.
Who, Rupert?
No, AOR Hooper on Collis.
Oh, Hooper, sorry. Hooper's tyres are 5 laps old. Collis has just come out of the pits on fresh tyres, so that's going to be a tricky one for Hooper, but they're on medium, so there may not be too much difference between them, although at the moment we're looking at the battle for 2nd position. Hazard on Flash. Can you just double check if Hazard's on super soft or soft in the race director, please? Soft. Hazard is?
Yes.
Wow, he's doing well to make them last then.
He is 10 laps, not bad at all.
Mind you, he started outside of the top 10, so they didn't do qualifying. So that's how he's able to
We're on 60% at the moment, and they will probably last to about 65 to 70.
So yeah, so he hasn't got a great deal of meat left on those.
No, he doesn't want to be. Well, I don't think he'll do it another lap after this one. Otherwise, he'll end up looking like Smeege, I would have thought.
The top 5 need to be.
Smeege has a 20-second penalty.
Yeah, he's got another 10-second for corner cutting, so he's exploring again.
Oh dear.
Let's see what the top 5 have yet to pit. So that's Rupert, Flash, and Smeege. Another corner. What is he doing? Oh, there he is. Yep, he's exploring, all right. Okay, we'll kind of leave you to your devices there as Rupert is in from the race lead. Flash continues, Hazard continues. Brazier, he's a little way behind, about 15 seconds behind Rupert before I jump to him. He continues. Aramax, where is he? He's continuing as well. Oh, wow. Hello, Collis. Oh, no, Aramax is coming in. That's why he lost that position, but look at that. Oh, that's very close on Lemon on Hooper. Who's going to get the inside line? That's very close. But the Force India manages to get the move done, and Zerd slips through as well. That was a very nicely timed, very opportunistic then by the McLaren to come through on the Haas. But look at that, right behind is Return and Hooper in their battle. Is once again, now that these guys have condensed a bit from pit stops, lots of battling still to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen some absolutely great racing today from these guys. Tim's still down in P10, not quite as quick as I expected, although, well, he is on the medium tyres, although a lot of the drivers are. So it looks like a super soft to soft isn't a viable strategy, especially for a one-stop round here. So maybe doing a, well, I don't know, it kind of makes the soft compound tyres a bit pointless to qualify on, if that's the case.
For a dry race, and I think it's pretty sure we're going to have a dry race here in Bahrain.
It probably never rains here. Well, literally never rain.
Yeah, the only rain in Bahrain is in the name.
Oh dear, that's brilliant. Oh no, Kodiak, it's time for you to retire.
Never do that again. Hazard then brings his car in. Another. What? Smeege, what are you? Oh, you really are exploring. Where is he? Okay, I think that's. Smeege is trying to find an exit, I think. Oh, he's disqualified. There we go.
He found an exit.
Yeah, in the form of a disqualification.
And all the two Williams are very, very close. Tim round the outside almost gets hit by Hazard. And he was lucky not to, actually, because they were battling right until the end of T1.
That was close. So who shall we look at then? The Haas drivers are not too far apart. There's Rupert in the background. He's lost DRS range on the back of the Haas. Hooper and Zerd are close together. Zerd to Lemon is pretty close. Collis has gotten away from Lemon a bit. Flash is 15 seconds down the road, but I would imagine there's... yeah, Flash is the only one not to have stopped so far in this race. So that'll be why... And I think he's going to be coming in. I'm assuming that green spanner icon in the bottom right-hand corner is the pit indicator. So I would expect him in pretty soon. But so, and Smeeds has left the session. That's not really a surprise. Is he going to come in this time? Let's keep an eye on
yes, it
McLaren.
looks like it.
Yep, he does. So, but he's going to still be towards the sharp end. What are we looking at? Oh dear, that's not going to help you. What are we looking at? Pit lane lost 18, 20 seconds?
Yeah, I would say it's probably closer to 22 to 24 Kodiak around here. All the tracks, but you have to... But that's the time spent in pit lane. Obviously, you have a bit of time slowing down, speeding up, so it can very much vary to obviously driver to driver on how late they dare. It looks like Flash obviously was chancing it too much.
Tim on the inside of the Red Bull of Rupert. Very nicely done. Nice and clean. Flash appears in 8th place. Right by. Look at that. It's a battle of 3. Then the Haas. Then another battle of 3. Then the Williams and Renault behind. So very, very close. And ooh, Tim goes a tad bit sideways there. But we jump up to Zerd. He's in 3rd position in the McLaren. He's got Hooper right behind. Locks him a little bit coming into turn 8. Hooper nearly joins him in the McLaren. That was very, very close. Now heading on towards 9 and 10. And Zerd maintains his racing line, still on those soft tyres. But Hooper is staying right with the McLaren. Once again, we have a Force India 1-2 in the form of Collis and Lemon. Collis leads by just under 4 seconds now, so he's doing a great job out there out front. Zerd there in 3rd position from starting on the front row, so not too bad. He's got a lot of pressure by Hooper, and Return is getting right back into DRS range. And Tim is only one. There is the Williams of Tim. He's nearly in DRS range as well.
Yeah, in fact, well, who knows? Will he have it this time round? We'll find out in a second now. No, he doesn't. But he'll probably have it next time. He's, yeah, only just over a second. He'll pick up a tiny bit of slipstream behind Return. I wonder if Tim can win the race from here. He's a very quick driver, and actually, second to all the way down to Tim are actually pretty close. In fact, and even Rupert isn't that far behind him.
Indeed.
But Hazard is even he's not exactly miles behind either. So potentially we could see the lead, a battle for at least a podium from down to P9.
Yeah, very, very close indeed. Catching up with my messages. Yeah, love you too, Dan. That's all I'm going to add to that one. Yeah, but Tim is right there. Look at the gaggle of cars ahead. Return in 5th. Tim is well within DRS range now of the Haas. And look at look at what's gone on there. Lemon's lost 2nd to Zerd. He had a terrible run out of turn 10. I suddenly saw him jink over to the left, and that's Hooper that's going to go through into 3rd. Then he's going to have the inside for 14, and is then going to be under pressure by Return. If we jump on, actually, Tim's
Lemon's held on.
He has.
To 3rd.
Well defended.
How he done that, I do not know. And it looks like a drive of Return. He just puts one on the inside of Hooper. What a move! Wow.
That probably
have DRS as well.
That probably scared the monkeys off of all of them. It certainly made me jump.
So.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Hooper then is going to do an inside manoeuvre on. Oh, Tim's got a bit of lag going on there. Hooper on the inside of Return, coming through turn 1, now turn 2, and whoa, Hooper's wandered wide. And then Tim's going to fly through on the outside, getting a decent run through 1, 2, and 3. And he's then still in slipstream of Return in 4th position. Doesn't go for that particular move into 4th position, but has got Hooper right on his tail. Then Return has got Lemon for company directly ahead. And Zerd is only half a second ahead of the Force India as well. So this is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in this particular battle. First is nearly 6 seconds. That's Collis in the Force India. He is gone.
Yeah, Collis is going to be hoping for more of this battling, and I think he's going to get it because the more battling these guys do, the more he has a chance to escape halfway through this race. and he is doing very well indeed. Tim has pulled a decent move on return as well.
We've lost JSR and the Renault. Don't know why we didn't see what happened to him. Unfortunately, we can't look at our retired cars anymore, which is a bit of a shame because it's difficult for us to tell what happened. Oh, and there's in the background Rupert and Flash. They're having a battle there for 7th.
I've seen a lot of carbon. Sorry, Cody. I've seen a lot of carbon fibre in between turn 13 and 14. So potentially that's whatever it was to do with that. Tim's got DRS on Lemon. In fact, Lemon's having a look on Zerd down the inside. Wow,
that was done.
Oh,
Woman, hell!
Not 1, but 2. That's a little bit. That wasn't really tight. That was poor.
That didn't go well. That did not go well for Tim at all. So Lemon's actually
let the pass by as well.
Yeah, he's let everybody. Well, he was mainly letting Lemon back through, as that sent Lemon down to 5th. So Tim doing the honourable thing there and letting the Force India through, but that meant he had to let the 2 Hasses go as well. But this battle is still for 2nd, bear in mind. Now Williams and Tim right back on Lemon's case, diving on the inside of turn 8. He's brave if you can do it, but doesn't quite get the traction when he wants it. And if we go 1 car further back, that's the view from 7th place Rupert. He's got Flash for company. So another 2 cars could be joining the back. Actually, another 3 cars, because Hazard's not too far off the back of that. Wow, big snap of oversteer there from Tim on the exit at turn 10. Now flying down towards 11. And Lemon's actually fallen off the back of Hooper a little bit. That's probably partly due to the impact between himself and Tim, but also trying to defend from the Williams as well. Now coming through 13. Look how close return is to McLaren. That is for 2nd, with Hooper in very short succession. Now, succession is the word I try and put on the end of that sentence. I keep putting demand on the end of it for some reason. There is Tim then having a look at the inside of 15. Doesn't quite make it stick.
Super close. He's going to have a DRS now. In fact, I don't think Lemon's got the DRS.
Nope.
No, he hasn't. Tim going to the inside. Lemon was going to look at defending, and there's something's happened to. Oh no, he's in the pits. That's why. Right, nice late braking from Tim. This time he does make the corner, and solid move by the Williams Esports driver.
It was a bit of a lock-up, though, coming into that turn. So now the 2 house drivers are close together. And look at that, Lemon having a look on the inside of Tim, then coming into 4, but doesn't quite make it stick. That Pink Panther's not ready to let that one go. And looks like Rupert's lost the position to Flash. That's for 6th. So that battle continues. Hazard is actually within DRS range. So the 2nd Williams looking to do something. Zerd has come out in 10th position on soft tyres. They should probably last to the end. He's having a look at Aramax and the Sauber. Jumps to the inside heading towards turn 4. That's going to be a fairly easy move for the McLaren. Oh, he's made Aramax outbrake himself coming into turn 4. Nice. Oh, no, hang on. He's still hanging on in there. Oh, and he manages to shut that door before getting through turn 6. So nicely done there by the McLaren. Just behind them is actually iJoker. So the biggest gap we've got is actually 9th to 8th, which is Keke on Hazard. Now, Hazard has now closed in that gap to 6th and 7th, which is Flash and Rupert. Lemon has, Lemon's lost the back of Tim, unfortunately, which is nothing, which is no mean feat, frankly, considering how quick Tim actually is. He's going to get DRS though, as is Tim off of Hooper, as Hooper is off of return. So jumping to the Williams then. Williams with the great turn of speed coming into turn 1's going to get alongside Hooper. Is that going to be moved done? It is indeed a bit cleaner than last time. Yes, it is indeed. Tim goes up to 3rd.
Yeah, great move by Tim. Exactly what you want to do. It's incredible how much extra speed he had. Maybe he's running at a slightly lower wing. And the information I have, actually, Hooper has a tiny bit of front wing damage as well. He might have just lost an end plate. It's nothing major, but it's something. So now, Tim needs to hunt down return. And after that, can he have a look at Collis? Their tyre wear are about the same. In fact, they pitted on the same lap. So, who knows? Maybe he'll be able to close that 8-second gap.
He's going to have less than 10 laps to do it. So, I mean, if anybody can, Tim can. But it's going to be a hell of a charge for him to be able to do that. So we will see how he does. Hooper is keeping the pressure on Lemon. That's now for 4th. This group has scattered a bit. So they're going to have to kind of... No one's got DRS. Well, the Hooper's got DRS on the back of Lemon, but Flash is just outside of DRS range to Hooper. as Lemon is to Tim, and Tim is still outside of DRS range to return. But of course he is chasing after the Haas. Go on.
No, sorry, I just thought you gave me a cue to talk, that's all.
Be my guest?
Well, I will. I am your guest. So, Cooper has DRS on Lemon. He's closing on the Force India, but not quite fast enough. He's not going to try a tip and go down the inside into turn 1. And it looks like they will remain in 4th and 5th for the time being. And Rupert is also very close to the McLaren of Flash as well. This group have been battling all race long, Kodiak. And we've seen some absolutely great overtakes because of it. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable social race.
Very, very much so. Battling going on even at the tail end. There's only 13 cars remaining, and there is Brazen and Aramax. That's for 12th. There's only 13 cars remaining in the race. Both of them locking up into turn 1. Very, very close, but keeping each other fairly straight and true. That's iJoker directly ahead of them. But they got a bit of a gap between themselves and Zerd. So, bearing in mind, Zerd was right up towards the sharp end. He has sadly fallen down to 10th. His strategy not working well for him. But Hooper is on the back of Lemon again with Flash in very, very short succession. Rupert is now in DRS range of that pack. So once again, we have got another battle going on. Timp is in DRS range of return. If we've got this on Sunday, I'll be a very happy boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, and it looks like Hooper's trying a move on Lemon before the DRS, which is really good because Lemon hasn't got DRS and Hooper has. In fact, Lemon's very low on fuel. He's actually in the minus, and it looks like Hooper is just able to keep ahead with that DRS, and Zerd has got himself a penalty.
Zerd does indeed have himself a penalty. Oh, wow, the McLaren getting right in there. He doesn't want to go 3 wide, and I don't blame him. Still, the Haas and the Force India side by side coming through turn 3. He's streaming on towards 4. Rupert is right there as well in the Red Bull. The Haas diving for the inside of turn 4. And whoa, what a move then by Flash. He's going to try and do something on Lemon. No, he backs out of that. Discretion, the better part of valor. Lemon returns to 5th position. There is Rupert. Oh, that's getting very close. Actually, a little bit off course, it looked like, from that particular camera angle. And now streaming on down towards turns 9 and 10. Will he dive on the inside? No, he doesn't.
Gosh, this 4 are so close to all of them with RS apart from Hooper. So that means that, what happened to Hooper? He must have had a lag spike. Because Lemon has now taken P4, Flash has taken P5, and Hooper drops to P6 with Rupert with a fantastic view. If I was paying for a seat, I'd definitely on Rupert's at the moment because he can see everything that's going on. So he gets a little bit of oversteer, which I imagine what were you oohing about.
That was precisely what I was doing at.
And Hooper's going to have a look, maybe, in fact.
Yeah, Hooper up to 5th.
Wow.
That was
I
nice.
didn't even know what to say. This is fantastic battling from all of them.
Oh, Lemon gets a great drive off that final turn, then flies past 1. He's going to have a go at Flash as well. 2 cars on the start finish straight. Can he do it? He's going to have outside for turn 1. The Haas thinks about trying to slide up in the middle of the 2. Doesn't do it. Lemon up to 4th. And is Flash going to be able to hold off the Haas then? Rupert once again gets a great ringside seat for this battle. Look at that. Flash still side by side with the Force India. Jumps back up to 4th. Lemon's lost 5th already to Hooper. Coming through into 5, 6 and 7. Can the Force India jump back in front of the Haas? He does, but the Haas is still there. Now we're going to come into the braking zone for turn 8. Is Hooper going to try something on the inside? No, but Rupert is.
Oh my God.
Hooper outbraked himself. He's lost the position to the Red Bull. He's not giving up on it though. Still side by side as they now come through turns 9 and 10. And no, the Red Bull does indeed get up to 6th position. Good God, this is hard to keep up with.
Yeah, it is. And while all that was happening, Rupert actually lost a little bit of front wing. In fact, I think he's lost quite a considerable amount of front wing. So that is not good for him at all. A great shame for him. Although he hasn't seemed to have lost too much pace. And Collis has gained himself a 5-second stop-go penalty for corner cutting. So that is... that's quite serious because all Tim needs to do now is get in 3 seconds, and he's going to be winning the race.
Well, yes, and Rupert actually just wandered outside of the track, and we were actually looking at him when he did it. So naughty boy, but look at that Flash on Lemon. The Flash backs out of that, interestingly. I've noticed that there's been a little bit of lag going on between the Force India and the McLaren, but they continue nonetheless. And Tim is actually up to second. Whilst all that's been going on, the Williams of Tim has made it up into second position. We didn't see the move happen because we're far too much focused on this battle. Oh, Lemon spun it. Oh, and he clips the back of Hazard, trying to recover as well. That's surely given the... and Lemon's retired. Well, it is a social race. You're allowed to do that. You wouldn't normally be allowed to do that in... well, you wouldn't be able to do that at all in a league race. That would get a steward's visit for that one. But yeah, the Force India is out. What a great shame. He's doing so well. But look at this battle now. Hazard in 7th. Now on the back of Hooper. Bearing in mind that the Williams has got the softer rubber on, so he might be able to do something in the closing stage of the race. We still have 5 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I have noticed is Tim has an awful lot more ERS deployment than Collis. In fact, his is well into the 90s, whereas Collis is just under 20. So this is looking really good for Tim at the moment. His lap times are very quick. He's just about to set. He's just set a 30.0, whereas Collis's last lap, which I'll be able to tell you any second now, was a 1 minute 30.8. So he's going about 0.8 a lap faster, which is what he needed to be doing anyway.
Indeed. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, what's going on? Oh my goodness, 3 wide coming through turns 1 and 2. That's never normally going to go well. And Rupert's gone. Yep, he's found a bit of. Well, he's run out of. He's run out of sand and found a bit of tarmac, but yeah, he was shoved off by Hooper and Hazard having their battle. The Williams now up to 5th position from going 3 wide into turn 1. That was only really going to spell disaster for someone, and it was Rupert that got the worst of that particular deal. As they now come. It's like
Sergio Perez. Oh dear, that's so bad.
I am not going there. But the Haston of Hooper trying to hang on. He's got no answer. He's got nothing on the tail. He just stuck his foot down, and those just didn't move coming out of turn 10. He's got nothing on those rear tyres. Did manage to get back up to speed then, and has closed that gap down a bit. But I think Hooper is really struggling on those mediums.
Yeah, one thing what is to be noted, Tim has a 3-second penalty, what means the difference between 3 and 5 is 2. What means Tim has to be within a 2-second gap of Collis to get this race victory.
But Collis has 5 seconds worth of penalty, so yep, exactly as you were saying. He has got to close it in. He's just under 7 seconds now with 4 laps to go. So he's got a fair amount of work to do if he's to close that gap down. Although he's doing everything he needs to be able to do it. And that's Hooper. And then again on the inside of turn 1. Doesn't quite get the move done then. As our field has now spaced out. Oh, look at the tail of that Haas. Just does not want to stick. He's sliding around every single corner he can find. Because on this overlay we can't bring up any kind of tyre wear detail. That's one advantage of the telemetry app that Cryostime brilliantly has built for the commentators. Is that's exactly what Hamish, who's just had to AFK for a moment, that's exactly what he can see. He can see what the tyre wear is. There's a big lock up there for the house coming through turn 8. Oh, and again, big snap of oversteer coming through the turns, through turn 8 into 9 and 10. So that's going to really hinder his ability to hang on to the back of the house. It looks like Hazard has got this one in hand. There you see Rupert was battling with them earlier. And
amazing.
Now, oh, you're back.
So good. Yes, I am. It's quite amazing that it took until lap 23 battling to really just die down just a little bit. And in fact, Arimax is on Joker as well, so there is still battling very much alive within the field. And Hooper and Hazard, as you've just been saying.
Oh, Arimax goes very deep into turn 10, so Joker, I think, may well be able to break DRS range, but I am keeping an eye on Tim. That gap is falling, but is it falling quick enough? 5.7 now is the gap from Williams to Force India. He's got 3 laps to go to gain a second a lap. He can do it. He most certainly can do it. Let's see what the fastest. Well, I don't know what. Can you see what the last laps were on the? I forgot what the telemetry actually gives you.
No, I can see their best lap, but not their last.
Not the last one. Yeah.
I'll go to the race director and I'll let you know what the situation is.
I mean, Timp is really closing in that gap now. Less than 5.5 seconds between Collis in the Force India and Timp in the Williams. Return.
Wow, I must have.
Go on.
Sorry, keep going. No, keep going.
So return then in their house, then hanging on to third position, but he is 6 seconds ahead of Flash. Yeah, the field really has spaced out, but exactly as you say, it's taken till now, the final 5 laps of the race, for that to actually occur.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Collis's lap times have been high 30s to low 31s. Timp's has been low 30s to high 29.
Wow.
So it's about a second a lap at the moment, and he's about to prove that. It was 5.8. It's probably going to be 4.8 by the time they cross the line. Let's have a look at this gap. It is 4.9, and that means Tim is closing very, very quickly. He still needs to gain another 3 seconds, Kodiak, and he's got 3 laps. This is going to be within the
close.
10th. Collis has to start to really push now, and Collis is pretty much out of ERS, and Tim isn't looking too brilliant either.
No.
They've both got about the same amount of fuel.
Yeah, so Timp has used up about half of the capacity he had when we last looked at him. So, Keki's in trouble. Keki's just lost a position to Zerd, so he's either in trouble or Zerd has been charging on in the McLaren, rather minding his own business. And Aromax on Jokers, that battle still goes on then with the Salma on the back of the Toro Rosso. Is he going to be able to make a move into turn 1? No, Joker is pulling away even under DRS. That is not closing down at all.
Possibly a setup change then by Aromax if he's not able to close in with DRS, because it is difficult to overtake without the DRS on this particular track, because most of the time the following of a car means you're getting the dirty air. What very much means you're getting quite a lot of oversteer through corners, so he might be quicker through the corners, is Aromax, but he isn't down the straight. I mean, just look how much he's able to close in on Joker just for that particular complex.
This will make this will make Smeej laugh, and probably you as well, Hamish. I looked across the chat and saw the message that Smeej put in there a while ago, and then I looked back and I was looking at Timp's car, and it has SMP Racing, I think it is, on the side. I read it as Smeej Racing, so Smeej is now a sponsor of Williams. But Tim did not close in much on Collis that time around.
No, he didn't. I wonder if Tim made a bit of a mistake. He still closed in, but only by about 0.6 of a second. All these laps are so crucial. Their tyre wear is about the same. In fact, Tim's is slightly worse. I'm wondering if Tim's tyres are going to basically explode, because they're on 70% Kodiak, which is pretty much the danger zone. Someone else who's in the danger zone is Hooper. He may very well lose P7 to Rupert if his tyres can't last, and maybe even P8 or P9, depending on, penalties. What happened to Aromax is overtaking Joker at the moment, and that is a solid move by the Red Bull. So much faster down that straight than the South driver. Shut up.
Clearing my throat, nothing.
Come on.
Oh, Timp has got his 3-second penalty, so he's charging us.
Means he has to win by a second now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much close enough to game over, unless Collis makes a big mistake. Collis will be very pleased by that, although he won't know Tim's got a penalty.
No, true.
Collis will probably be thinking he's lost the race, so what he doesn't want to do now is think he's lost the race and just give up. He still has to push as hard as he can.
Very true. Aromax on the back of Joker. Zerd has been really charging on those softer rubber.
Rupert is having a look on Zerd at the moment, possibly into the braking zone. In fact, what happened to Hooper? Hooper's tyres are gone. That's what I predicted, and that is exactly what's happened. The Red Bull.
Oh, he's got a puncture. Rear left puncture on the Haas.
And he's on Zerd, round the McLaren, round the outside, braking nice and late, 75 metres. Is he going to get the car slowed down enough? Now, will Zerd get the slightly better traction? His tyres are in much better nick, and yes, he does. Good job from him.
So that's up to 6th, and yeah, Hooper has pushed his tyres too far. Oh, front wing on for 1 lap, why not? So yeah, he actually blew out the rear left tyre. But we're on the final lap then of this social event. Round the last few turns then for Collis, who's been in the lead since the pit stop phase. Round turn 14 then, there's still 3.6 between himself and Tim. Then he's not under any immediate danger unless he decides to throw it off into the wall now, which I don't think he's going to do. Round the final turn, and that is it then. Your winner here in this social event at Bahrain is the Force India of Collis. Very nicely done. There go the fireworks. Second is Tim. And there go the penalties. He ended up being 9 seconds behind Force India. Here comes Flash in the McLaren to take third place. And a bit of a wiggle to himself. Why not? There's Return in the Haas. He's going to come across the line in fourth. There's the next Williams of Hazard in fifth. Zerd from starting in second. Ended up right the way down towards the tail of the field. Ends up finishing in sixth. Not a bad effort towards the close of the race. Rupert, as Jassy jumps up to sixth due to penalties, throws his car dramatically into the wall. Why not?
Joker has just had a big crash, and that means he's now out of a point. I think his tyres are gone as well. And he's about to run out of fuel.
Oh, just a bad insult to injury. KK crossed the... Go on.
Oh, sorry, no, keep going.
And Aramax looks set to throw his car in the wall as well. He's and there's the stranded Red Bull of Rupert. There is Joker, and there is Brazen in the background. There, Aramax crosses the line, and I wondered if the Toro Rosso was going to aim for the Red Bull, which he didn't do. And that is it. This test stream has done. The numbers on this side have shown that the stream has remained stable. You kind people have been saying it's been smooth throughout. I am pretty damn relieved about that, I must be honest. But there we go, Force India on the top spot. Is this foreshadowing for the weekend? Maybe Donoso will be quite happy about that. He's one of our Force Indias. Can't think who the other one is for Tier 1. Can't remember who it is.
The other Force India is Mad Sorensen.
Ah. And we would normally switch over to interviews, but I think that's beyond the bounds of the test. But look at that, quite a number of penalties across the board. So yes, I think we can conclude it here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us throughout this test stream. It has put my mind at rest that it is possible to do this. I will feed back to our other PC streamers that may also be having a bit of difficulty to see if my adjustments will help them as well. Thank you very much to those. Thank you very much to Hamish for wasting his time with me this evening. It's always a great pleasure.
It's my pleasure to join us.
And we will be back on Sunday for round 2 of Season 16. Thank you very much, and good night.